What's good, everybody? Freaks and Geeks, aka NoahC, back at it again today for another video for y'all. And today we're going to be talking about the Kenzo tournament, the post-aftermath of it anyway. And today I just wanted to discuss about how I felt about it, as far as just the overall way of the tournament and how it went. Of course, the tournament was ran perfectly smoothly by the For Honor community. I do give them kudos for that, especially being able to identify the fact that they had a large body of people and the fact that they got it done within less than a day's time, because usually a volume of that caliber, it will usually take a while. Now, first thing I want to talk about as far as this tournament goes, and this is just a disclaimer, okay? So for the people that are going to be in my comment section telling me that, you don't know anything, you're just saying that because of this, because of that. Look here, I personally did not go into Kenzo's tournament wanting to win. I already know how it was gonna go, based off the fact that there was no type of rules involved when it comes to dealing with people who play in such a manner that make the game look very, very unprofessional. Reason being is that in a 1v1 tournament, in all the 1v1 tournaments that I've ever played in, there has been someone who has always done something that did not make the game look good. It's been like that ever since Ken did it in the Hero Series tournament of almost a year ago. And the problem with that is that if someone decides to keep differentiating and making the game look a lot more toxic and a lot more stupid than what it actually looks like, then it hurts everybody. It doesn't just hurt it doesn't just hurt one person. It doesn't just hurt one source of a community. It hurts everybody. Reason why I'm saying that is Conqueror was the main character that was used throughout the tournament. Now, you're like, well, Freaks, didn't you use a Conqueror throughout the tournament? What are you talking about Conqueror for? I use literally Conqueror as a point. And people in my streams can actually kind of attest to that, because at first I didn't use Conqueror. I used NoahC Kenzo, and I end up getting to I end up getting put out of winners by a guy named Mako, and it was because of the fact that he was using Conqueror, and two, he had poor connection. So my thing is that on top of him playing a character that has the ability to abuse an attack that is almost unreactable on console. I'm not going to say it's not unreactable. I think you have to have the proper setup to make sure that you have to take into account, for one, people's actual connections, and on top of connections, you have to make sure that people actually know, the matchup as far as whatever their character they're playing. But as far as that goes, I end up getting taken out by Mako in the first round. Then I end up fighting. I'll go into losers. So while I'm in losers, every single match besides one Shinobi by the name of Galactics or something like that, I actually can't remember. But I literally told my chat, I said, you know what, chat? For the memes, I'm gonna just play Conqueror. I literally won 6 games straight with just Conqueror alone. Now, it wasn't up until that I realized that I had to fight Itachi, where I already knew where I was going to get put out. One, Itachi has bad connection. Two, on top of Itachi having bad connection, he plays in a way that makes the game look very bad, especially in a 1v1 setting. And he gets it from his 4v4 mindset and the way he plays with other people. Now, playing with Conqueror on top of the way that he plays already takes it away from the fact that, you're going to not just have a bad time, but you're going to make this look very, very toxic. And that's what happened all up until that point. Everybody from Sean Bias clan basically ran Conqueror and basically did the running away, shield bash, etc., over and over and over again. There was only one person, I think by the name of Tingles or something like that. I don't know his name particularly, but he played Shaman to counterbalance the Highlander, not the Highlander, but the Conqueror, which I thought was a very ingenious idea. So at the end of the day, he ends up being he ends up beating Itachi, and he ends up going into like top 3, where top 3 is basically just conquer, conquer, conquer. Even a person, I think he ended up playing one of the top 2 people. He ended up playing Berserker at first, then realized that, you know, this Conqueror is starting to come back on me, and now I need to play Conqueror. You know, and it's kind of funny that it had to go from Berserker Conqueror to Conqueror Conqueror, and I already knew how this was going to play out. I recently had picked up Conqueror just for the tournament, just to see what it would do, but I didn't want to do it because I don't want my fans and I don't want people to sit there and say like, oh, you just doing this. Like, I literally had 64 people in my chat watching me. Then the moment that I started playing Conqueror and I started shield bashing people over and over and over again, I ended up losing all of that fan base, meaning that it made my fans, it made it look like that I was selling out, and it made it look like that I was just, you know, just doing anything to cheese to win. And it should not be like that when it comes to actually playing in a tournament of this skill. It should be a skill based thing. It should not be a cheese based thing. And so one of the suggestions that I wanted to actually do when it comes to these 1v1 tournaments, and for the people that are actually out there watching that are tournament organizers or people that have done these tournaments for a while, is that they need to understand that whatever type of tournament that you're going to do, basically you're going to have to figure out who the top tier character is of that meta. Whether it's 4v4, 2v2s, etc., etc. Now, 4s does not need a ban. The reason why 4v4s don't need a ban is because every character can be taken care of by the other character, and it's more of team coordination. Now, in 2v2s, after, like, you know, recently talking to Clutchmeister in the stream that day, and I think it was a conversation between me and the Light Boogie. It was a little thread that was said that Conqueror might need to be banned in the 2v2 aspect, and I didn't think that Conqueror was such a menace on PC, considering the fact that, you know, everything is reactable. But just like what Clutch told me, is that when you parry something or you go for something in a 2v2, anything that makes you have to overcommit, it opens you up, and it opens you up in a way that you could be punished by your actual opponent because you're trying to actually hurt his teammate. And so, thinking about it, Conqueror does that extremely well, from just being able to knock someone out of an attack, knock someone out of any type of momentum that they would actually have. It makes sense, especially in 2v2s where you're turtling up most of the time trying to find openings. So, in a 1v1 aspect, especially on console, Conqueror needs to be banned. There are a lot of other characters that actually handle more of the S tier characters besides just, besides Conqueror. Conqueror honestly is in a league and is of his own. The reason why I say that is because even a good Highlander would not be able to handle a Conqueror that's always rolling out of the 50-50. And it's going to get to a point, especially depending on what type of map that you actually pick. Now, the pit will probably be the best place for a Conqueror to actually roll away from, but the other maps will not be like that, considering they don't have the type of range and they don't have the type of environment to where, you know, you can actually get out of pressure because it's so enclosed. Now, as far as matchups go in the 1v1 aspect, most of the S tiers, like your Kenseis, your Berserkers, your Highlanders, they're all handled by someone else lower on the roster. Granted, only if you're really, really well enough to actually know that and have some type of skill with that character is the only reason you actually play that character. I know everybody's playing for money. I know everybody's going to do what it takes to actually get the dollar. That is fine. But you all have to understand, especially the people that are continuously playing this on a competitive level, if you do not have a good connection, if you do not play this game in a way that makes it look good for sponsors, for people to actually want to put more money into it every single time that we actually hold these tournaments, then all you're doing is hurting the community. The problem was with Ubisoft not being able to actually get people to buy the game, or get the game to be able to for people to put money into it anyway, was because of the fact of what Learning had done. Now, I know he did it for the sense that he wanted the devs to see what was going on, which is fine. I understand that entirely. But from an aspect where people are really trying to pay to put money into this stuff, you have to understand there is no way for you not to sit here and play the game that is intended. Now, I'm going to give you guys an example of what it means to actually play this type of game in a certain way. So think of it like if Sonic Fox was to find some game-breaking cheat while he was playing Dragon Ball Z Fighters during the middle of EVO in the next few days. Do you not know that Dragon Ball Z Fighters would lose all the respect as far as just an actual fighter, and then Ark's work systems, they would have to build the ground up all over again because of the fact of one person thinking that, oh, I'm gonna win all this money, I'm gonna just do this like this. No, you're basically competing. Every time you get on a stage with somebody, you're showing the world what you can do. If you're showing the world shield bash spam, you're showing the world your bad connection, you're showing the world this and that, then I guarantee you what's gonna happen is that nobody's gonna wanna, like, granted, like, pay you out. I know, like, a lot of you don't really care about it, but I'm trying to make esports like a part of my life. And as far as that goes, I need people to understand that every time that you join these type of tournaments, you need to have a mindset of the same type of esports. It does not need to be in a way where you're hindering everyone. And that's what I'm really trying to drive home here. But I would love to hear you guys' comments and suggestions about how you would run the tournament. Granted, again, I'm not saying that the tournament went bad at all. Again, I really do applaud Light Boogie and Kenzo for even throwing the tournament in the first place, because it helps out the community and it shows us that, you know, where the meta is. And I just feel like 1v1 tournaments in particular need just a little bit more rules, so that way there's not as much cheats. But I digress, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. It's been Freaks and Geeks, aka NoahC, signing off until tomorrow. Catch you guys later. Peace out. Deuces.